We're about to dive into the divine mysteries that shape our lives and our destiny through faith, hope, and the eternal guidance of God, who is really your own incredible human imagination. Let's start with a simple but powerful truth. God and your imagination are the same thing. They are inseparable because imagination is the very expression of God flowing through you. As we step into this new year, it's essential to realize that every single moment in your life is a moment of divine creation happening right now in your consciousness. Let me share a story from the Bible that perfectly illustrates this point. In the book of Hebrews, it says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This passage holds the key to understanding how you can enter 2025 with absolute confidence in divine guidance. You see, faith isn't some abstract concept floating around outside of you. Faith is the very essence, the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. When you truly have faith, you don't just hope for something to happen in the future. You feel it as though it's already happened in your imagination, which is God in action. Let's try an experiment right now. Close your eyes, if you will, and think about something you want to experience in 2025. Instead of hoping it will happen, I want you to feel the naturalness of it already being accomplished. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, and the sense of completeness as if you already have it. This feeling, this knowing, is faith in its purest form. Hope, as most people know it, is really just a confession of faithlessness. True hope, divine hope, is the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. It's not waiting or wanting, it's the awareness of already being what you desire to be. This is why I keep telling you that imagination creates reality. Now let me share a deeper secret about God's guidance for 2025. Many people think of guidance as something external, something you need to find outside of yourself. But I'm telling you, God's guidance is the natural flow of your own wonderful human imagination when it is faithfully focused on your fulfilled desire. Think about the words of David in Psalms. He leads me beside still waters. These still waters represent a calm state of mind, a place of knowing that what you want is already yours. That's divine guidance in its purest form. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates this idea. A woman recently came to me, troubled about her finances. She was worried about the upcoming year and asked how she could receive God's guidance to improve her situation. I told her exactly what I'm telling you now. God's guidance is not something you receive, it's something you assume. I told her to go home and every night before bed to feel the naturalness of financial abundance, not to pray for money, but to feel the satisfaction of already having it. Within 2 weeks, she received an unexpected promotion that doubled her salary. She didn't find guidance, she exercised it through her wonderful human imagination. This is how you begin 2025 with true faith. You must understand that faith isn't something you have. It's something you activate through the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. Every time you embrace the feeling of your desire already accomplished, you are exercising faith at its highest level. Let's take a deeper look at hope. The world teaches us to hope for better things, to wish for improvement, and to desire change. But true hope is not about waiting for something to happen. It's the feeling of your wish already fulfilled, experienced now in your imagination. When you feel the reality of your desire already happening, you are expressing hope in its most divine form. Consider the story of Abraham, who, against hope, believed in hope. What does this mean? Despite all evidence to the contrary, Abraham maintained the feeling of his desire being fulfilled. He didn't hope the way the world hopes. He hoped as God hopes, by feeling the reality of his wish already fulfilled. Now let's talk about how to begin 2025 with God's guidance. Many of you think guidance comes in the form of steps to follow, like a cosmic GPS system. But I'm telling you, God's guidance is the natural unfolding of events when you maintain the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. When you hold on to the feeling that your desire is already accomplished, divine guidance operates perfectly. The people, events, and circumstances needed for your desire to manifest are drawn to you by law. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask him." Let me share another principle that will transform your experience of 2025. Every moment of your day is a moment of creation. Your consciousness, your I am, is God in action. Whatever you are conscious of being you will become. This is why it's so important to maintain the feeling of your desire already fulfilled throughout your daily activities. If you want a new home in 2025, don't pray for it. Pray from it. Feel the joy of already living in that home. Imagine the feel of the furniture, the warmth of sunlight through the windows, the comfort of each room. Fall asleep feeling that joy and satisfaction as though it's already yours. This isn't just visualization. It's the operation of God's law through your imagination. This is how you create your reality and align with divine guidance. Through your wonderful human imagination, you shape your world. Keep your focus on the feeling of your desire already fulfilled and watch how your life transforms in 2025. Now, some of you might say, but Neville, what about when the circumstances seem to go against what I want? This is where the real test of faith comes in. You have to learn to ignore what your senses are telling you and stay true to the feeling of your wish already being fulfilled. Remember the words of Jesus, do not judge by appearances. Let me share a story about a man who attended my lectures years ago. He wanted to take his business international, but faced what seemed like impossible obstacles. Instead of focusing on these barriers, he started to feel what it would be like to have a global business. He would fall asleep every night imagining the joy of receiving calls from overseas clients, feeling the satisfaction of global success. Within months, a series of seemingly random events led to partnerships that helped expand his business to 3 continents. He didn't force it to happen. He allowed it to happen by keeping his mind focused on the feeling of his desire already being fulfilled. This is how divine guidance works in action. As we dive deeper into this discussion, I want to share a key truth about faith in 2025. Faith isn't just believing in something. Faith is actually the feeling of something. When you truly have faith, you don't just think about what you want. You think from that place of already having it. This is a crucial distinction that will help you approach this year with absolute faith. Take the story of Peter walking on water. As long as he kept the belief that he could walk on water, he did. It was only when he started focusing on the wind and the waves, on the physical facts, that he began to sink. This story shows us how to maintain faith in 2025, no matter what's going on around us. You see, every moment of your life is shaped by your assumptions. If you assume there is a lack, you'll experience lack. If you assume abundance, you'll experience abundance. This isn't about positive thinking, it's the law of consciousness at work. Your assumptions, when held with feeling, become your reality. Let me share another truth about divine guidance in 2025. Many people feel they need to search for God's guidance. But I want to tell you this. God's guidance is about maintaining the right state of consciousness. When you feel your wish already fulfilled, you're allowing divine guidance to unfold naturally. Think about it this way. If you were going to a destination, you wouldn't keep questioning whether you're on the right path if you were already there. In the same way, when you stay focused on the feeling of your wish already fulfilled, you don't need to go searching for guidance. It will come to you naturally, guided by the law of consciousness. Now let's talk about hope in its true spiritual sense. Hope, as I've said, isn't just wishing for something to happen. True hope is feeling as though your desire is already accomplished. When you feel that your wish is already real, you're expressing hope in its highest form. Remember Paul's words, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Christ isn't just a person who lived thousands of years ago. Christ is your own wonderful human imagination. When you use your imagination with love, whether for yourself or someone else, you are expressing Christ, the hope of glory. Let me tell you about a remarkable experience that shows how this principle works. A young mother came to me worried about her child's health. Instead of praying for healing, I asked her to feel what it would be like to have her child perfectly healthy, to feel the joy of seeing her child play, run, and laugh with full energy. Within weeks, her child's health dramatically improved. She didn't beg God for healing, she expressed God through her imagination. This is how you can use hope correctly in 2025. You don't need to wait for better circumstances to feel good. You simply feel the naturalness of your desired circumstances now. As we go even deeper into these truths, let me tell you that faith, hope, and divine guidance aren't 3 separate things. They are all aspects of the same thing, your consciousness in action. When you have faith, you're keeping the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. When you have true hope, you're feeling the reality of your desire already accomplished. And when you experience divine guidance, you're allowing events to unfold naturally from that state of consciousness. Think about the story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. The people were told to march around the walls for 7 days, holding the feeling of victory before any physical evidence appeared. This is exactly how you should approach 2025. Maintain the feeling of your desire fulfilled even before you see the evidence. Now let me share something profound about beginning this year with absolute faith. Many of you think faith requires effort, but true faith is effortless. It's just the natural feeling of your wish already fulfilled. When you truly desire something, you don't have to force yourself to want it. You just want it. In the same way, when you have true faith, you don't have to force yourself to believe. You simply feel the naturalness of your desire already accomplished. Let me share a story about a businessman who understood this perfectly. He wanted to double his company's revenue in 2025. Instead of stressing about how it would happen, he simply felt the naturalness of already having doubled revenue. He would look at his financial statements and feel the satisfaction of seeing those doubled numbers. He would imagine conversations where he discussed his company's amazing growth. Before long, opportunities began to present themselves effortlessly. New clients came in, existing clients ordered more, and partnerships were formed without struggle. He didn't force it to happen. He allowed it to happen by staying in the right state of consciousness. This brings us to another important point about divine guidance in 2025. The world teaches you to make things happen, but I'm telling you that your only role is to maintain the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Everything else will be handled by the law. As Jesus said, "The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works." Think about how a seed grows. It doesn't have to struggle to become a tree. It simply holds the pattern of its future form within itself. In the same way, when you keep the awareness of your wish already fulfilled, you hold the pattern of its future expression within you. This is the purest form of divine guidance. Now let's talk about something important regarding hope in 2025. True hope isn't about what's to come, it's about the present. When you hope the right way, you are already feeling what you want to experience. This feeling, this conscious belief, is the substance that shapes your future experiences. Let me share a principle that will change how you see faith, hope, and divine guidance. Everything you experience is a result of your consciousness. Your consciousness is God in action. So when you change your consciousness, you change the way you experience divine guidance. Imagine this. If you were to receive $1 million tomorrow, you would naturally feel wealthy today. You wouldn't wait until the money appeared to feel wealthy. That feeling would come before the physical event. This is exactly how you should approach everything you want in 2025. Let me tell you about a teacher who applied this principle beautifully. She wanted to impact more students' lives but felt limited by her current role. Instead of looking for outside opportunities, she started to feel the naturalness of reaching thousands of students. She would fall asleep feeling the joy of receiving messages from students whose lives she had changed. Within months, she was given the chance to create an online course that reached students worldwide. She didn't make it happen. She allowed it by keeping the awareness of her wish already fulfilled. As we near the end of our conversation tonight, let me share one final truth about starting 2025 with faith and divine guidance. Everything you desire already exists in infinite potential. Your job is not to create it, but to accept it as already done in your consciousness. Consider the words of Jesus. "Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." This isn't a promise about the future. It's a statement about the power of consciousness now. 2025 isn't something that happens to you. It happens from you. Your consciousness is the foundation of all your experiences. When you maintain the awareness of your desires fulfilled, you're allowing the perfect expression of divine guidance in your life. Remember this. Faith isn't something you have. It's something you exercise through feeling. Hope isn't something you do. It's something you are. Divine guidance isn't something you see. It's something you allow by maintaining the right state of consciousness. As you leave here tonight, I want you to take this profound truth with you. You are not going to become what you want to be. You must be it now. Feel the naturalness of your desires fulfilled. Live from that state of consciousness. Allow the perfect operation of divine law to bring the circumstances events and relationships that align with your conscious assumption. For in truth, there's only one cause in all of creation, and that is consciousness. God is in action through your imagination. Use it lovingly and wisely, and watch as 2025 unfolds in perfect harmony with your highest desires. That's all for tonight, my dear friends. Go in peace, keeping the awareness of your wishes fulfilled, and allow divine guidance to express perfectly in your life. With faith exercised through feeling, hope expressed through being, and guidance allowed through consciousness, 2025 will be a year of divine fulfillment. Imagine a world where no one can disturb your peace. This isn't some distant dream, but your reality, waiting for you to claim it. The secret isn't in controlling others, it's in mastering your own consciousness. Anger isn't something imposed on you by external forces, it's a choice, a reaction that comes from within. When you feel anger rising, remember, you are the operant power. You're not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of your emotional state. What you see in the world around you is just a reflection of your inner state. Those who anger you are simply playing the roles you've assigned them in your mind. They're actors on the stage of your consciousness, reading the script you've written for them. Pause and take in this truth. You're not a small being tossed around by others. You are the dreamer of this life, the author of every experience and interaction. When you realize this, you'll see that getting angry at someone else is as silly as getting mad at your own reflection in the mirror. You wouldn't shake your fist at your image, demanding it change. No, you would simply change your own expression, and the mirror would reflect that change. The same goes for the world around you. Change your conception of yourself, and the world must change to match. This is the law, timeless and unchanging. But how do we put this into practice? The key is in your imagination. Your imagination is the most powerful force in the universe. It's the place where you craft your reality. When someone pushes your buttons, take a step back and enter your imagination. Picture the scene unfolding differently. See yourself responding with calm, understanding, and love. Feel the peace that comes with this new response. This is not denial or repression. This is conscious creation. You're choosing a new state of being, and by doing so, you're rewriting the script of your life. The subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's physically experienced. So as you continue imagining yourself unshaken, your subconscious will accept that as your reality. And what the subconscious accepts, it must externalize. At first, this may take effort. Old patterns of reaction may try to come back, but keep going. Every time you choose peace over anger, you're strengthening a new pattern in your consciousness. Understand that those who come into your life, even if they challenge you, are not your enemies. They are your greatest teachers. They are showing you the areas where you still hold limiting beliefs about yourself and the world. Each encounter is an opportunity for growth and expanding your awareness. Think about this. If you believe the world is a hostile place, filled with people who want to take advantage of you, that's exactly the experience you'll create. Your belief will shape your reality. But if you know, truly know, that you are the upwind power and that all of creation is working for your good, how can anyone possibly anger you? Every person, every situation becomes a blessing, a chance to expand. This isn't about becoming a doormat or accepting mistreatment. Far from it. When you operate from this level of consciousness, you naturally command respect. You don't demand it, you embody it. Your very presence radiates an energy that lifts those around you. Look at the great spiritual teachers throughout history. Did they engage in petty arguments or get caught up in the actions of those who opposed them? No, they stood firm in their knowing, unshaken by others' opinions or actions. You have the same power within you. It is your divine birthright. Claim it now. Know that you are the master of your emotions, the creator of your experiences. When you find yourself in a situation that would normally trigger anger, pause, take a deep breath, and remember who you truly are. You are not a small, reactive being. You are a divine creator, shaping reality with your consciousness. In that moment of pause, revise the scene in your mind. See it playing out peacefully. Feel the emotions you would experience if the interaction were harmonious. Hold on to that feeling. This isn't pretending or deceiving yourself. It's the highest form of living. You are choosing your state of being rather than reacting unconsciously to external triggers. As you practice this, you'll find that your reality begins to shift. People who once irritated you will suddenly seem different. They may become more respectful or agreeable, or they may fade from your experience, replaced by individuals who resonate with your new state of being. Remember, everyone in your world is you pushed out. As you change your self-concept, as you embody peace and understanding, the world rearranges itself to reflect your new identity. This isn't a one-time thing, but an ongoing practice. Each day brings new chances to choose peace over anger, understanding over judgment. Each interaction is an opportunity to remember your true nature as the creator of your reality. You may wonder about injustice in the world and whether we should get angry at wrongdoing. It's a valid question. But think about this. Has anger ever solved a problem? Has it ever led to lasting change? True, lasting transformation comes from a place of love and understanding. When you operate from a higher state of consciousness, you become a much more effective force for good in the world. Anger clouds your judgment and narrows your perspective. When you're angry, you're trapped in a limited view of reality. But when you stay calm, centered in your knowing, you can see the bigger picture. You can respond with wisdom rather than reacting emotionally. This doesn't mean you become passive in the face of wrongdoing. On the contrary, you become more powerful. Your actions come from a place of clarity and purpose, not blind rage or frustration. Think of the great change makers in history, the ones who brought about true, lasting transformation. They didn't operate from anger. They acted from deep conviction in the power of love and truth. As you practice this new way of being, you'll find that your influence on the world grows. People will be naturally drawn to your peace, your unshakable calm. You'll become a living example of what's possible, inspiring others to rise above reactivity and choose a higher way of being. Remember, the world is not happening to you. It's responding to you. Every person you meet, every situation you face, is a reflection of your own consciousness. When you no longer get angry or upset, it's not because the world has changed. It's because you've changed how you perceive the world. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand sovereign in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions, shaping your experience of reality. Imagine moving through life with this level of inner peace. Imagine facing every situation, no matter how challenging, with calm assurance. This is not just a pleasant fantasy. It's your birthright as a conscious creator. But let's be clear, this isn't about suppressing emotions or denying reality. It's about transcending the old patterns of reactivity and stepping into your power as the author of your life story. When you feel the old anger rising, welcome it. Observe it, but don't identify with it. See it as a signal, a reminder to shift your perception. In that moment, you have a choice. You can fall into the old pattern, or you can choose again. You can remember the truth of who you are. This practice takes vigilance, especially in the beginning. Old habits of reaction will try to resurface. The world may seem to test your resolve, but stand firm in your knowing. Each time you choose peace over anger, you are strengthening this new pattern in your consciousness. As you persist in this practice, it will become easier. What once required conscious effort will become your natural state. You'll find yourself responding to life's challenges with grace and ease, unshaken by the storms that once threw you off balance. This isn't about becoming emotionless or detached. On the contrary, you will become more fully alive, more deeply engaged with life. You'll experience a richness of emotion, a depth of experience that wasn't possible when you were trapped in cycles of anger and reaction. Anger narrows our perspective, locking us into a limited view of reality. But when we free ourselves from anger's grip, we open up to the full spectrum of life's experiences. We become more empathetic, more understanding, more connected to those around us. This shift in consciousness has far-reaching effects. As you move through the world, unbothered by others' actions, you become a calming influence. Your peace ripples out, touching everyone you encounter. You become a living demonstration of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. Remember, this practice is not about achieving a state where you never feel negative emotions. It's about developing the ability to choose your response in any given moment. It's about reclaiming your power as the creator of your experience. There will be times when you falter, when the old patterns resurface. When that happens, be gentle with yourself. Don't judge or criticize, simply observe, acknowledge, and choose again. Every moment is a new chance to remember who you really are. As you keep practicing this, you'll start to see how your entire experience of life changes. Situations that would have made you angry before now become opportunities to learn and grow. People who used to irritate you turn into your greatest teachers. You'll begin to see the divine in everyone around you, recognizing that they too are on their own path to awakening. This recognition naturally brings compassion and a deep sense of connection with all of life. This way of being is your true inheritance. It's who you really are underneath all the layers of conditioning and false beliefs. As you peel away those layers, and as you consistently choose peace over anger, you're revealing your true self. Imagine going through your days with unwavering inner peace. Imagine facing every interaction and challenge with calm confidence. This isn't just some nice dream, but your birthright as a conscious creator. However, let's be clear, this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a constant unfolding. Each day gives you a new opportunity to practice and choose to remember the truth of who you are. As you keep at it, you'll see that your whole experience of life shifts. The world around you will seem to become more harmonious, more in line with your inner state. But remember, it's not the world that's changed, it's your perception of it. This shift in perception is what leads to personal freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand strong in your own consciousness, choosing how you respond and shaping your reality. But what about those times when anger feels justified? What about when you see injustice or cruelty? Remember, choosing not to get angry doesn't mean you accept wrongdoing or become passive. It means you're responding from a place of clarity and wisdom instead of reacting out of blind emotion. When you aren't caught up in anger, you can see things more clearly and respond in a way that's more effective. Your actions will come from a place of love and understanding, not rage or revenge. And paradoxically, this makes you a much more powerful force for change in the world. Think about the great spiritual leaders and social reformers throughout history. They didn't create change through anger. They did it through a deep commitment to love and truth. They showed us the power of staying grounded in our highest principles, even when faced with opposition or injustice. As you develop this inner peace, you too become a force for good in the world. Your very presence becomes a reminder to others of their own divine nature. You become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear and understanding over judgment. Remember, everyone you meet is a reflection of you, a version of yourself projected outward. They are playing the role you've assigned them in your mind. If you find yourself repeatedly dealing with angry or difficult people, look inside yourself. What beliefs are you holding about yourself and the world that are being mirrored back to you? This is where the real work lies. It's not about changing others, it's about changing your own consciousness. As you shift your inner state and cultivate peace and understanding within yourself, you'll find that the world around you starts to reflect that change. This doesn't mean that tough situations won't come up, but it does mean that you'll face them with a sense of calm rather than reacting out of frustration. You'll respond with wisdom and compassion instead of lashing out in anger. Imagine how this could change your relationships. Think about how it could transform your work life, your family dynamics, and your interactions with strangers. When you're no longer triggered by others' words or actions, you become free. You can engage with life fully without needing to protect yourself or carry around resentment. This state of being is your natural birthright. It's who you truly are beneath all the conditioning and false beliefs. As you strip away those layers and consistently choose peace over anger, you'll reveal your true self. But remember, this isn't about suppressing your emotions or denying reality. It's about rising above old patterns of reactivity and stepping into your power as the creator of your own life. It's about recognizing that in every moment you have a choice to react unconsciously or to respond consciously. As you practice this new way of being, you'll find that life starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a dance. You'll move through your days with a sense of ease and flow, unshaken by the storms that used to throw you off balance. You'll see your relationships deepen and become more authentic. You'll connect with others on a deeper level, becoming more empathetic, more understanding, and more compassionate. This shift in consciousness has far-reaching effects. As you move through the world unbothered by the actions of others, you'll become a calming influence. Your peace will ripple out, touching everyone you meet. You'll become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear and understanding over judgment. Remember, this practice isn't about reaching some perfect state where you never feel negative emotions. It's about developing the ability to choose your response in any moment. It's about reclaiming your power as the creator of your experience. There will be times when you slip up, when the old patterns come back. When that happens, be kind to yourself. Don't judge or criticize yourself. Just observe, acknowledge, and choose again. Every moment gives you a fresh chance to remember who you truly are. As you keep practicing, you'll notice your whole experience of life starting to change. Things that once made you angry will start to become opportunities for growth and understanding. People who used to get on your nerves will turn into your greatest teachers. You'll begin to see the divine in everyone you meet, recognizing that they too are on their own journey of awakening. This recognition naturally brings about compassion and a deep sense of connection with all of life. This peaceful state is your natural inheritance. It's who you really are, beneath all the layers of conditioning and false beliefs. As you peel away those layers, consistently choosing peace over anger, you'll be revealing your true self. Imagine going through your days with unshakable inner peace, facing every interaction, every challenge, with calm and confidence. This isn't just a nice fantasy. It's your birthright as a conscious creator. But let's be clear, this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a continuous unfolding. Each day offers new chances to practice, to choose again, and to remember the truth of who you are. As you stick with this practice, your whole experience of life will begin to shift. The world around you may seem to change, becoming more harmonious and aligned with your inner state. But remember, it's not the world that's changing, it's your perception of it. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. You won't be at the mercy of others' actions or words anymore. You'll stand firm in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions and shaping your experience of reality. What about those times when anger feels justified? What about when we see injustice or cruelty? Remember, choosing not to get angry doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting wrongdoing. It means responding from a place of clarity and wisdom instead of being caught up in blind emotion. When you're not consumed by anger, you can see things more clearly and respond more effectively. Your actions will come from love and understanding, not from rage or a desire for revenge. Paradoxically, this makes you a much more powerful force for change in the world. Think of the great spiritual leaders and social reformers throughout history. They didn't expect change to come through anger. They knew it would come from a steadfast commitment to love and truth. They showed the transformative power of holding strong to their highest principles, even when faced with opposition or injustice. As you develop this inner peace, you too will become a powerful force for good in the world. Your presence will remind others of their own divine nature, and you'll become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear and understanding over judgment. Remember, everyone you encounter is a reflection of you. They're playing the role you've assigned them in your consciousness. If you find yourself meeting angry or difficult people repeatedly, look within. What beliefs about yourself or the world are being reflected back to you? This is where the real work lies. It's not about changing others, it's about changing your own consciousness. As you shift your inner state, you'll notice that the world around you naturally starts to reflect this new state of being. This doesn't mean challenges won't still come up, but you'll face them with a calm center instead of reacting. You'll respond with wisdom and compassion. Imagine how this could change your relationships, work life, family dynamics, and interactions with strangers. When you're not triggered by others' words or actions, you're free to engage with life fully, without defensiveness or resentment. This peaceful state is who you really are, beneath all the conditioning and false beliefs. As you peel away those layers, choosing peace over anger, you reveal your true self. Remember, this isn't about suppressing emotions or ignoring reality. It's about moving beyond old patterns of reaction and stepping into your power as the author of your own story. It's recognizing that in every moment you have a choice to react unconsciously or to respond consciously. As you practice this new way of being, life will feel less like a struggle and more like a dance. You'll move through your days with ease and flow, unshaken by the storms that once would have knocked you off balance. Your relationships will deepen and become more genuine. When you're not caught up in anger or defensiveness, you're free to listen and connect. You'll become more empathetic, understanding, and compassionate. This shift in consciousness has far-reaching effects. As you go through the world unbothered by others' actions, you'll become a calming influence. Your peace will ripple out, touching everyone you meet. You'll be a living demonstration of what's possible when we choose love over fear and understanding over judgment. This practice isn't about reaching a perfect state where you never feel negative emotions. It's about learning to choose your response in any given moment and reclaiming your power as the creator of your experience. There will be times when you slip up, when old patterns resurface. When that happens, be kind to yourself. Don't judge or criticize, just observe, acknowledge, and choose again. Every moment is an opportunity to remember the truth of who you are. As you continue this practice, your whole experience of life will transform. Situations that once made you angry will become chances for growth and understanding. People who used to irritate you will become your greatest teachers. You'll begin to see the divine in everyone you meet, recognizing that they too are on their own journey of awakening. This awareness will naturally bring about compassion and a deep connection with all of life. Imagine moving through your days with unshakable inner peace, facing every interaction and challenge with calm assurance. This isn't just a nice idea, it's your birthright as a conscious creator. This transformation is a journey and it's ongoing. Each day brings new opportunities to practice, to choose again, and to remember who you really are. As you continue, your whole experience of life will shift. The world around you will seem to change, becoming more harmonious and aligned with your inner state. But remember, it's not the world that's changed, it's your perception of it. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. No longer are you at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand sovereign in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions and shaping your reality. When anger seems justified in the face of injustice or cruelty, remember this. Choosing not to get angry doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting wrongdoing. It means responding from a place of clarity and wisdom, instead of being controlled by blind emotion. When you're not caught up in anger, you see situations more clearly and respond more effectively. Your actions come from a place of love and understanding, not rage or vengeance. Paradoxically, this makes you a far more powerful force for change in the world. Think of the great spiritual leaders and social reformers throughout history. They didn't create change through anger. They did it with an unshakable commitment to love and truth. They demonstrated the power of staying true to their highest principles, even in the face of opposition and injustice. As you cultivate this state of inner peace, you too become a powerful force for good. Your presence alone becomes a reminder to others of their own divine nature. You become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear and understanding over judgment. Finally, detachment. Once you've assumed the reality of your desire, let it go. This doesn't mean you stop believing in it. It means you release any worry or need to control how it will manifest. Trust the process. The universe or your subconscious mind will align circumstances to bring your assumption into reality. Each step builds on the previous one, creating a seamless process that transforms your inner world and outer reality. Before we talk about how you can apply this technique to your own life, let's take a look at some remarkable stories from people who have used it successfully. These real-life examples show not only the power of Neville Goddard's method, but also how quickly it can transform your reality when practiced correctly. The first story is about Andrew Shiner, a lover of Julie Gray. Another comes from Richard Dahmer. One individual shared how they used this technique to manifest their dream job. They were stuck in a job they didn't enjoy and couldn't see a way out. Following Neville's steps, they took time each night to relax deeply and visualize themselves in a new fulfilling position. They imagined walking into the office of their dreams, feeling excited and accomplished. They didn't just see it, they felt it. Within weeks, they were unexpectedly approached by a recruiter offering a role that matched their vision almost perfectly. Another story comes from someone who wanted to improve their financial situation. They were drowning in debt and felt hopeless about their future. Instead of focusing on their struggles, they began visualizing themselves living a life of abundance. They imagined the feeling of financial freedom, the joy of paying off bills effortlessly, and the peace of mind that came with it. They assumed this new reality was already true. Within a short period, they received an unexpected windfall that cleared their debt. These stories show the incredible power of Neville Goddard's method and how quickly it can transform your life when practiced consistently. Thanks to this method, many people have found new opportunities for income and success. One powerful example is a woman who wanted to heal a strained relationship with a family member. She practiced the technique by visualizing heartfelt conversations and imagining the joy of reconciliation. She felt the love and harmony as though it was already present. To her surprise, the family member reached out after years of silence, and they began rebuilding their bond almost immediately. These stories share a common thread: the speed and precision of the results. While some might call it a coincidence, those who have experienced it know there's something more happening. The key to these results is following the steps: visualization, emotional involvement, assumption, and detachment. They trusted the process, and that made all the difference. What stands out in these testimonials is how this method doesn't just bring desires to life, but often does so in ways that feel effortless and even unexpected. It's not about forcing things to happen. It's about aligning your inner world so that the outer world naturally reflects it. These success stories show that when practiced consistently, this technique can truly work wonders. Before we talk about how to make this technique a part of your daily routine, let's address some common mistakes that can block your progress. Even though Neville Goddard's method is simple and effective, there are certain pitfalls that can weaken its impact. Understanding these challenges and knowing how to avoid them will help you keep your practice strong and consistent. One of the most common mistakes is doubting the process. When results don't come right away, it's easy to feel frustrated or skeptical. But this doubt creates resistance in your mind, making it harder for your desires to manifest. Remember, the law of assumption works like planting a seed. You wouldn't dig up a seed every day to check if it's growing, right? The same applies here. Trust the process and give it time. Consistency is key. Another mistake is the lack of emotional involvement. Visualization without emotion is like painting without color. It lacks vibrancy and life. Some people go through the motions of imagining their desires, but fail to connect emotionally with their vision. Without the feeling of joy, gratitude, or excitement, the subconscious mind doesn't fully register your assumption as real. To avoid this, focus on immersing yourself in the emotions tied to your desire. Feel it deeply, as though it's happening right now. A third challenge is treating the technique like a chore instead of a joyful practice. When you approach it as something you have to do, your energy becomes rigid and the process loses its magic. Instead, think of it as a creative exercise, a chance to shape your future in a fun and empowering way. Make it something you look forward to, not something you force yourself to do. To maintain faith and consistency, create a routine that works for you. Set aside time each day to relax, visualize, and connect with your desires. Morning and evening are often ideal because your mind is naturally more receptive during those times. Surround yourself with positive influences, such as books, videos, or communities that support manifestation. This keeps your energy aligned and reinforces your belief in the process. Lastly, avoid overthinking or obsessing over the how. Your job is to assume the end result, not to micromanage the details. Let go of the need to control every step and trust that the path will unfold in the best possible way. By staying consistent, emotionally engaged, and free of doubt, you'll create the space for your desires to flow effortlessly into your life. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored today. The law of assumption is a powerful principle that puts the creative power of your life in your hands. It's not just about wishing or hoping. It's about aligning your beliefs, emotions, and assumptions with the reality you want to create. Neville Goddard's rare technique takes this idea to the next level. By following the steps of relaxation, emotional involvement, assumption, and detachment, you can speed up the manifestation of your desires in ways that feel almost effortless. This isn't just theory. Countless people have shared incredible success stories that prove the effectiveness of this method. Now it's your turn. Practice this technique with faith and consistency. Make it part of your daily life, and watch as your inner transformation creates remarkable changes in your outer world. Remember, it's all about trusting the process and allowing your desires to flow to you naturally. Your creativity and liberation are key. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, or success stories in the comments below. Let's build a community of like-minded individuals ready to take control of their lives.